Okay, so you know how the deep ocean is basically like outer space but wet? Yeah, the stuff living down there is absolutely insane. We're talking fish with see-through heads, sharks older than the United States, and glowing jellyfish that look like something out of a science fiction movie. And the craziest part? All 12 creatures we're showing you today are completely real. While the ocean covers about 80% of our Earth, we humans only manage to map nearly 20% of it. Honestly, after seeing what's lurking miles beneath the surface, you might never look at the ocean the same way again. The first creature on our list is the viperfish, and this thing looks like it swam straight out of your worst nightmare. Picture this. You're a mile down in complete darkness, and suddenly you see these massive fangs coming at you. Fangs so long they don't even fit inside its mouth. Like, this fish literally can't close its jaw all the way because its teeth are too big. That's commitment to being terrifying. The viperfish uses bioluminescence to hunt, basically turning itself into a living glow stick to attract prey in the pitch-black depths. And get this, it can swim at incredible speeds to ambush anything unlucky enough to get close. Those needle-like teeth, they're designed to impale and trap prey so nothing escapes. It's small, only about a foot long, but pound for pound, the viperfish might be one of the most metal predators in the entire ocean. Nature really said, let's make a tiny demon, and called it a day. And if you thought the viperfish was nightmare fuel, wait until you meet its neighbor, the anglerfish. Meals in the deep sea may be few and far between, but the anglerfish have adopted a unique strategy to find their next meal. So the anglerfish has this glowing lure dangling right in front of its face, like a little fishing rod attached to its head. It just sits there in the darkness, waving this bioluminescent bulb around. And when some curious fish comes to check out the only light for miles, bam! It gets swallowed whole by this massive mouth full of glass-like teeth. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. The males are tiny, like way smaller than the females, and when they find a mate, they literally bite onto her and fuse into her body. Forever. He becomes a permanent parasite, just hanging there providing sperm while she does all the hunting. Romantic? Absolutely not. Unreal? Completely. But that's the anglerfish for you. A true menace in the dark. Now the next frightening creature might actually have one of the most chilling names in the sea, and that is the vampire squid. Its Latin name, Vampiroteuthis infernalis, translates to vampire squid from hell. But this creature is more misunderstood than monstrous. This squid neither drinks blood nor counts as a real squid. Rather, it is a deep-sea mystery. Its crimson skin, cloak-like webbing between its arms, and ghostly pale eyes conjure up the traditional picture of a vampire gliding over the abyss. Beneath this unsettling cape are fleshy spikes known as cirri, which when threatened abruptly unfold to create a terrifying display that resembles a mouthful of teeth. The vampire squid thrives in oxygen-starved depths where few animals dare to explore because it has adapted to one of the hardest environments on Earth. Instead of hunting fiercely, it floats softly through the night, eating on marine snow which is drifting debris. Instead of ink, it produces glowing mucus to fool predators with a brilliant light in the pitch-black space. Now, if the anglerfish freaked you out, let me introduce you to something that shouldn't even exist. Sea spiders. Yeah, you heard that right. Spiders. In the ocean. And these aren't like regular spiders that accidentally fell in the water. These things have been crawling along the ocean floor for millions of years, and they look like something an alien would design. They're all legs. Seriously, their bodies are so small that their organs actually spill into their legs because there's nowhere else to put them. Their stomach? In their legs? Their reproductive parts? Also in their legs. Everything is just crammed into these spindly little limbs. Perhaps the most horrifying thing about these animals is how they eat. Sea spiders use a tube called a proboscis to feed on soft-bodied animals such as worms or sea anemones. And the weirdest part? Scientists still don't fully understand how they survive down there. They're a total mystery in the dark depths. Speaking of things that are way bigger than they should be, let's talk about the giant isopod. You know those little roly-poly bugs you find in your garden? The ones that curl up into a ball when you poke them. Cool. Now imagine one the size of a football. That's basically what a giant isopod is. These things can grow up to 16 inches long, and they're just chilling on the ocean floor like oversized armored bugs. They're scavengers, which means they eat whatever dead stuff sinks down from above. Whale carcasses, dead fish, pretty much anything that hits the bottom becomes their buffet. But here's the wildest part. These guys can survive without food for literally years. There's one in captivity that didn't eat for 5 years straight and was totally fine. 5 years. They just go into this super low energy mode and wait it out. In the deep sea where food is scarce, being able to starve for half a decade is apparently a useful skill. If you thought regular eels were weird, the gulper eel is here to completely blow your mind. This thing is also called the pelican eel, and once you see it, you'll understand why. Its mouth is absolutely enormous, like comically huge compared to the rest of its body. Imagine a skinny snake that's mostly just a giant unhinged jaw with a tail attached. That massive pouch of a mouth can open wide enough to swallow prey way bigger than the eel itself. It's like a living garbage bag with teeth. The gulper eel's body is mostly tail too, this long whip-like thing that can grow up to 3 feet long. And at the very tip, a glowing organ that pulses with bioluminescent light, luring curious creatures closer before that ridiculous mouth springs open. The whole thing looks so impractical and bizarre that you'd think evolution made a mistake, but nope. It's been doing just fine in the deep sea for millions of years. Keeping in theme, let me introduce you to the goblin shark, which might be the ugliest thing swimming in the ocean. This shark looks like it ran face first into a wall and never recovered. It has this long, flat snout sticking out of its head like a sword, and its jaw can actually shoot forward out of its mouth to grab prey. Seriously, its whole jaw extends outward like something from the Alien movies. 1 second, it looks somewhat normal. The next second, its mouth is launching at you. They're pretty rare to spot since they live super deep, but when fishermen accidentally catch one, it's always this pale pink nightmare that looks half melted. Evolution really had no chill with this one. Sticking with sharks, let's talk about the frilled shark, which is basically a living fossil. This thing has been around for 80 million years and looks exactly like what you'd expect from a prehistoric predator. It's got this long, eel-like body and a mouth full of about 300 tiny needle-sharp teeth arranged in 25 rows. When it opens its mouth, it looks less like a shark and more like some kind of sea serpent. Those frills around its neck are actually its gills, giving it this weird dragon-looking appearance. Scientists think it hunts by bending its body and lunging forward like a snake striking prey. It moves nothing like modern sharks. Seeing one is extremely rare, which honestly might be for the best. If you're keeping track of which deep-sea creature has the worst dental situation, the fang-toothed fish is a serious contender. This thing has the largest teeth relative to body size of any fish in the ocean. Its fangs are so massive that it has special sockets in its skull for them to slide into when it closes its mouth. Otherwise, it would literally stab itself in the brain. The teeth are like built-in daggers that it can't get rid of. Despite looking absolutely ferocious, fang-toothed fish are only about 6 inches long. They're tiny terrors with a serious overbite problem, drifting around in the darkness, looking perpetually angry. Honestly, they have every right to be. Next up is the dragonfish, and this predator has a hunting advantage that's straight up unfair. Most bioluminescent creatures down here glow blue or green, right? Well, the dragonfish produces red light, and here's why that's absolutely genius. Almost nothing in the deep sea can actually see red. It's completely invisible to them. So while everything else is swimming around in total darkness, the dragonfish is lighting up its prey like a stage spotlight, and they have absolutely no idea they're being watched. It's like hunting with night vision goggles in a room full of blind animals. The dragonfish gets to see everything while staying completely hidden. And those sharp, barbed teeth lining its jaw? They guarantee nothing escapes once it decides to strike. The dragonfish didn't just adapt to the deep sea, it totally hacked the system. Now we need to talk about the giant squid, because this is the creature that launched 1,000 sailor legends. The kraken? Yeah, it was real the whole time. These things can grow up to 43 feet long with eyes the size of dinner plates. For centuries, people thought sailors were just making up stories about massive tentacled monsters dragging ships underwater. Then we started finding beaks the size of basketballs washing up on shore and realized, oh wow, they weren't exaggerating. We've only captured them on film a handful of times because they live so deep and are incredibly hard to find. But when we do get footage, it's always this surreal moment of watching something that looks like it belongs in mythology, just casually swimming through the darkness. They're ambush predators with tentacles covered in suction cups, lined with teeth. Actual teeth on their suckers. And just when you thought the giant squid was as big as it gets, let me introduce you to its even more terrifying cousin, the colossal squid. This thing is potentially the largest invertebrate on the entire planet. While giant squids are longer, colossal squids are way heavier and bulkier, weighing up to 1,500 pounds. But here's where it gets worse. Those suction cups we just talked about? The colossal squid said that wasn't enough and added rotating hooks to them. Actual swiveling hooks that can spin around and shred whatever they grab onto. Scientists have found scars on sperm whales that could only come from battles with these monsters. We're talking about deep sea fights between two absolute giants that we'll probably never witness. The colossal squid lives in the darkest, coldest depths near Antarctica, and we've barely seen any footage of living ones. It's the ultimate deep sea mystery. And honestly, maybe it should stay that way. So yeah, 12 unreal deep sea creatures that are somehow completely real. The ocean really looked at normal biology and said, nah, let's get weird with it. The wildest part? We've barely scratched the surface. Scientists say we've only explored about 5% of the ocean, which means there's probably stuff down there that makes these creatures look totally normal. Every deep sea expedition brings back something that shouldn't exist but does. If this video blew your mind, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Drop a comment with which creature freaked you out the most.